as much it doesn't look like it because I live inside the cave, but it's a particularly developed part of my Let's Play, and instead of bouncing down from 17 to 20 FPS, we haven't gone below 30 yet. We've seen 33, 36, we're seeing 30s in the numbers, but it means that Minecraft is entirely playable, and it means that even the worst case scenario for long-term survival players is still going to be pretty good. Until you've got giant crazy mob farms or literally hundreds of thousands of chests running around, you ultimately are going to get decent frame rates inside and out, and if you're in a brand new world, it's going to be much closer to 60. And so I think that is actually a pretty decent sales pitch for the PlayStation 5. I think it's a very good sign that if you are playing on a current gen console, PS5 or Xbox Series X, you're going to be able to support vibrant visuals just great. Especially if your world isn't over a gigabyte and doesn't have all of the weird things that my one does. This is entirely playable. It's not perfect, but it's perfectly playable, and we could probably make it even more so by lowering the settings. But how do both of these compare to a PC? It took me literally half an hour to get the Let's Play world on my PlayStation, by the way, and it took me literally 8 seconds to get it on my PC. Just want to point out, if you've enjoyed this video, and you think that half an hour of my time was well spent, or at least that you want to show appreciation for it, feel free to represent that in some way. Anyway, here we are on the PC. I actually have turned everything to the max, but I'll double check that it hasn't turned down to make sure this is a fair comparison. Max, 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 and 24 chunks of deferred render distance. Now, what's interesting is on the PC, your frame rate will dip when new chunks are loading in, quite drastically in some cases, but here you can see that this is the platform that shaders, or rather vibrant visuals, was truly made for. Again, the number at the top we've been using to track our frame rate shows that instead of getting 20, or instead of getting 35, in the exact same world right here, it's my Let's Play world, I should know, but in the exact same world, we are now not seeing 60, which is the kind of like tip of where most people draw the line of fully playable and fully responsive, but we're getting well past 60 into the 90s and getting close to 120 frames in some places. I bet, I'd be willing to bet even, if we go outside of a developed part of the world, we'd be able to get not just 100 frames per second, but likely in excess, let's make some fireworks. Let's really test this at the edge of the world. I bet we'd be able to get much higher frame rates if we fly out into the distance, and so let's test it. Yep, the game runs great. Even while actively loading chunks, we can still get 120 FPS. And so, yeah, I think this isn't much of a surprise to anyone, but I think the level, the order of magnitude over which, a PC is currently beating a current-gen console is something very, very interesting. Anyway, speaking of things that are interesting, outside of my own testing in my own world, I do want to point out something else which is very, very unique, and that is the fact that only on PC is there a key to turn off deferred rendering, or turn off vibrant visuals, using just a single button. So this is something that's existed for the entirety of the testing, but right now, if you press the semicolon key, you can turn off all those settings. I think it sets it to simple by default, but that means we can massively improve our frame rates up to about 180, which isn't, again, as high as you'd expect, but we can then turn it back on using the same key, and this is actually something I think Minecraft needs to add for other platforms, because there are moments where you don't want to have vibrant visuals on. In my opinion, to be able to describe this as the best graphic setting, it should be the best at all times, but sadly, it's not. Now that we've gotten testing between devices out of the way, now it's finally time to talk about the things which are the same between all devices, and in particular, the issues. There are still quite a few issues that mean that this can't be considered a finished product, at least not one that you would want to apply in a long-term world without an easy way to turn it off, and the biggest reason behind that is the nether just isn't functioning. I mean, if I give you my best example of a nether biome, I would say it's the warp forest right here. As you can see, the trees glow in a way that is just delightful to look at. This biome has so much ambiance, but it also has less visibility than normal, something which truly follows everywhere else. There is this weird nether cave fog that you can see in every single cave. I don't know why they would add this just for vibrant visuals. You're just making it worse, and you're not gaining any performance or real ambiance. You're just making the experience look terrible, and it gets so much worse by the time you get to like a Soul Sand Valley. I found that most nether biomes are pretty well lit, but the Soul Sand Valley is like playing Minecraft with sunglasses on, except actually, and also turning your brightness down. It's absolutely terrible. You just cannot use the Soul Sand Valley without turning off the settings, and there's some other examples of things you might not even spot it until later, but here is a bastion that I found. As you can see, the bastion looks very cool and very atmospheric, but if we turn off vibrant visuals, we'd be able to see so much more. In effect, is you are just nerfing your own ability to see. This isn't just true for the Never, it's something that the game suffers from in many different parts because it seems as though Vibrant Visuals was set up all with the intention of there always being a giant blob of light in the sky, which is true for at least one of the dimensions, and although they've sort of fixed it for caves, it's also broken not just for the Never, but also for, say, looking underwater. I tried looking for buried treasure, and I just found it to be a nightmare dealing with this water texture. Water looks incredible, and it's great to look at when watching someone else play, but when playing it yourself, it's just kind of irritating. I spent all of this time just trying to mine blocks underwater, and it was giving me something that I can only really describe as like a headache. You know when you're looking at something and it's not just right, and you vaguely know what you should be doing? It feels like playing Minecraft, but with half an eye open. I don't know why, but it just was infuriating to me. All I wanted was a single diamond so that I could play the pig step that I got from that earlier bastion. Don't worry, I got it by the way. Although, can't you see, even in this worst case scenario of it being raining and nighttime, it actually looks great. I would even say better than the base game in terms of visibility, and that's why I need to mention that even though there are all of these downsides, torches, the Never, the amount of times where you just can't see something you otherwise would be able to, I do have to say that I think there is so much more that is good than bad here. I mean, I've already obviously mentioned the fact that it's free and the fact that it works great on last-gen hardware. I mean, we were sold the idea of better graphics on an Xbox Series X, which seemed optimistic, but amazingly you can get this on your super old, your decade-old consoles, or even your smartphone too. The fact that it will work on those older devices while looking this good is seriously a feat of
Okay.
something similarly of this equivalence anywhere else on any other platform, it's going to break everything. But the truth is, you have to go really old hardware and really intensive worlds before you can get anywhere close to that. And that's why I have to say, I think this is incredible. I think that the overall package is something I'm excited for, but for the conclusion, it's worth asking the question of would I use this on my Forever World when it's out? Would I use this on my longest term survivals? And would I use this just as my default way to play the game? The answer is not in its current form. As much as I enjoyed trying to do an entire run of Minecraft, I found myself getting to the Nether and immediately thinking, wow, I wish I'd turn this off. The overworld is perfectly fine when there's enough light, and night is honestly better than day until you look at your torches, but there are too many issues with this that I would find myself wanting to switch it off, and were I playing on a platform without the easy switch off key, I think I would just choose to not have it on rather than deal with the performance issues and it also hampering my game.
Wow.
I think that for screenshots, this is incredible. I think that for when you're playing exclusively in the overworld, which means
I ain't buying that.
90% of Minecraft players at any given point in time, this is a wonderful pack, and I hope that with the feedback that we can give it between now and its final release, we can end up somewhere that is great. However, even in spite of that, and even before this update does come out, I do have to make the point that there are a lot of people out there, probably myself included, where even if this was perfect across all dimensions, something would feel strange about turning it on. I think there is going to be a long transition period where a lot of people, myself included, are going to look at it with skepticism and say, well, Minecraft, I still see this to this day. Outside of screenshots, Minecraft gameplay just looks better, is more connectable, and is something you can better relate to when it is the regular game. It's the same reason why, even though shaders have existed on Java forever, you won't catch most internet content using it, and most Minecraft players don't use them because better visuals aren't a better game, and ultimately, even though I think visuals
Sorry, Asen, I can't give out free pets because I'm trying to get my stuff back after I lost it all, after I got scammed, so I'm trying to get everything back. When I get my pets back, or some pets back, then yeah, I'll give out pets, but right now, I can't. Sorry.
And consider checking out the Super Flat Survival. I'm doing it in hardcore again this Sunday. Let's hope it goes well, okay? Goodbye.
I can't give a free pet, Asen. Like I said, I got scammed and I lost all my good pets, so I'm kind of desperate, so I can't. Oh, what's more money?
Google still tracks you in incognito mode. Use DuckDuckGo, a real private browser. DuckDuckGo comes with a built-in search engine like Google, but it's private and doesn't track your searches. And DuckDuckGo lets you browse like...
After 10 years, a Minecraft movie is officially out, and you might not know this, but there is both a mid-credits and a post-credits scene, and although Warner Bros. Are striking all footage of that post-credits, I'll describe it to you briefly with this image. Steve goes back to his old house in the real world, and he speaks to a woman with orange hair and a green shirt, and she says her name is Alex, opening up the possibilities for a sequel that now it's been so successful, I'm sure they'll want to explore. Anyway, hello, I'm Abby Cat, and this is Q&A Saturday, the weekly series where I answer your biggest comments from last week. I've had quite a few of these related to the Minecraft movie, so we'll come back to that as well as your other non-Minecraft movie questions, but we do need to start obviously with the fact that yes, the Minecraft movie had the biggest box office opening day of 2025, it being greater than the Captain America movie, and it's the biggest opening day figure so far. In fact, it is the second biggest year-end release of all time. And even that, it's got a possibility of catching up with Minecraft movie 2 looks very likely. But just for a fun little bonus detail, everyone's talking about the post-credit scene, but obviously the mid-credit scene of The Villager is one that I'm hugely interested in. And interestingly, there's an interview with Deborah Wood where she talks about co-starring with a nitwit, and I just need to share this with you.
I mean, I think of all the scenes I've had over the years with different people, different actors, and I have to say, I think my scene with Nitwit, I mean, I think it's the most attracted I've ever been to the character. Certainly turned on.
I've got to say, the way they're promoting this movie is ridiculous, but in a way that is clearly working for them. There are some really interesting stats about that, and my opinion I want to dive into later. But first, I think it's important we talk about the Minecraft movie event server. You might have noticed there are vertical slabs in there, and in response to a comment where I said that Mojang said, why not to the Mace, Airbus 3330, 743 liters, says if only they said, why not to the vertical slabs? And indeed, why is it that Minecraft says why not vertical slabs, but only in event worlds? And the answer to that is that these event worlds are actually made specifically by their movie, by a third-party marketplace studio, and they're allowed to break all of the usual Minecraft rules. Is that a good thing? And indeed, if they're choosing to do that, isn't that a sign that vertical slabs are wanted by people? The answer, in reverse order, is definitely yes and maybe. And the reason that I'm mentioning this is that it's about to go away in just under 2 days. That's right, usually by now everyone would have enjoyed the server, got everything out of it, but this server only fully unlocked 2 days ago, and that's if you felt like being a bit naughty, more like a day ago for most people, which means that if you haven't got on the cape yet, you have 48 hours to get it, or you never will again. And the comment that relates to this is ArcaneCat4579 saying Toycat's tail yearns for the mine, and it's true.
All right. I am Steve, and this is my chicken breeding hole. Boom. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. Perfect. Okay, we good. All right. So, let's see. You bop, 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 bop. Oops. Oh, yeah, let me put... Wait, it has to be dark, right?
The Five Nights at Freddy's Movie 2 trailer was just released online, and the new toy animatronics were just revealed. Here's every new animatronic that was shown, as well as the hidden details regarding some scenes that you definitely are aware of. Because in the opening of the trailer, we got a shot of what looks to be the entrance into the pizzeria, where we can see the same poster that we saw in the first film, as well as what looks like Endo 02, the endoskeleton for all the toy animatronics, as it cuts to someone at the Fast Fest saying, "Welcome back," with the puppet's music box playing. Welcome back. Ready to start the show? And we see shots of the Fast Fest with the wheel and pizzeria's exterior, where we see Abby being led to the pizzeria by the puppet using the fast talk, and she leaves a note for Mike saying, "Gone to fix my friend." Next, we see that Vanessa is out of her coma, telling Mike that the animatronics are outside of the pizzeria free roam. And we get a cool shot of Toy Bonnie behind the stage curtain, as it fades to a hand pressing the Showtime button, possibly Henry Emley's hand, as we know is being played by Steve Ulrich. But next, we see a scene which I talked about from leaks before, where a science fair judge will get jump scared in Abby's school by Chica. Well, that's exactly what we got, as Toy Chica's eyes lights flash on and jump scare him. We then get a view of Chica's sweet pics. Very odd. But we then cut to Mangle breaking into Mike's house through a and Toy Freddy slowly pulling up the garage door as we cut back to Toy Bonnie stabbing someone with a screwdriver. We then see a paranormal shot of William Afton